This short presentation will focus on these two approaches to art. What are they? Is one better than the other? When do we use them? And why are they important? One teacher used these examples to express the differences between process versus product. What do you notice are the differences? Let me briefly share with you my research on this subject. I wanted to explore the process of art and the product of art. There's very little anymore on art products, although on many unofficial teacher sites you can find a plethora of craft projects. Your textbook definitely directed you to the creative process. The chapter states, quote, "The emphasis throughout this chapter is on allowing appropriate time, space, and flexibility for creating, to give permission and responsibility to the children, and to nurture and value creativity." End of quote. These statements definitely go along with that philosophy. So what exactly does process versus product mean? You can certainly see the lists here. I had a teacher that told me that a product was something that I, as the teacher or the adult, wanted the child or children to reproduce. I found it cute or somehow relevant to what we were doing. It was my choice, a teacher choice, not a child's choice. I thought that summarized it quite well. This means there is a difference between art and a craft. Please note it is not always wrong or bad to have children participate in a craft. There is indeed a place for it, for both in our classrooms, according to me anyway. Different professionals definitely have different opinions on this. There are facilities that do not allow crafts at all. Only creative activities are allowed. This is definitely a good question when you are interviewing for a position. And if we were honest, some days we just don't want the mess. Creative art activities can be messy. Of course, children need to be involved in the cleanup process, but we often have to re-clean after a particularly messy activity. Products can still be creative. Children love making cards. They can certainly determine what they want to put on it, and we can make a literacy activity by having them write something on it or dictate to us if they aren't quite ready to write, or we really want to make sure that the parents can read the card. I also never hesitated to make material selections in my classroom. When we were working on colors, then there was only that color available. So red paint, red Play-Doh, red construction paper was a red kind of day. We'll talk about the theory of saturation in a later class. I did the same thing with shapes. When we were working on circles, most all of the materials were circles. There are many ways to have a product with a dash of creativity. My philosophy is moderation. But please remember never to demand that a child make the product that you have available. That would not be developmentally appropriate. This is a basic list of materials that should always be available. Notice you do not see messy materials. Children love the easel. Usually we only have one in a classroom. Those things are ridiculously expensive. Anyway, don't just use it for painting, although I think you could put paint and the easel out every day and the children would paint every day. But be creative with the easel. Be creative with art supplies in the other areas of your room. This yarn was in an art box in the art center. Our 4-year-old creative genius got it and did this. Pretty cool. Left to their own devices, children are very creative. Creative art does not have an end result. It is finished when the creator says it is finished. Some children will not want the end result, and we need to respect that. It's common to display the children's artwork, but please remember to always ask the child if you can display it. Being creative is very personal. Each of us as teachers may feel differently about projects and the art process. Hopefully, this presentation has given you something to consider. All right, you're going to have to click 3 times for my experimentation with animation, my creative process.